Hey friends, I hope the morning's treating you well. Hope you got your coffee if you drink coffee. I do not have coffee. I haven't yet to have any coffee today. I stayed in a hotel somewhere outside of Almelo, Netherlands last night, and I walked out. There's this field back behind here, and I sat down here at this. There's a picnic table, and I have this little tiny tripod that's about that big. And I'm trying my best to figure out a way to frame something up for you guys here. Maybe you can see there's just a big, beautiful emptiness behind me. But this tour's been sold out. I think all but one show has been sold out. It's been really, really great. Lots of nice people. I met a lot of folks that watch the channel. The big surprise for me was there was a lot of folks that have driven in from Germany to see some of the shows, and I don't usually play it in Germany, so that was a nice thing. Just a lot of people saying that they enjoy the channel, and mostly it's folks that have always come out to see me throughout the years, but new people from the channel, and that's always good. And thank you guys for coming out if you did. I'm very groggy, as you can tell. I just got up and came out here. There's a coffee maker in my hotel room, and it's one of those things that the coffee's in one of those plastic cups that you have to put in something, and I've used those like once before, maybe twice, and it seemed kind of obvious how to do it and figured it out. I've yet to figure out how the hell to use this one. I was messed around with it for about 15 minutes in the room, and I never could figure it out, and whatever writing that's on it is in Dutch, and I'm just sitting there thinking, oh my God, how is it we've made making coffee this hard? Could be so easy. And those are never that good either, I don't think that's very good coffee. It's extremely wasteful, but anyway, I'm gonna try to figure something out to make some coffee here in a little bit, or else I'm going to have some sort of international incident on my hands. The gigs, like I said, have been great. I played last night in Almelo. Really nice folks, good stuff. I woke up yesterday morning in Bree, Belgium. I stayed in a hotel there. That gig was great. They told me that I had played there twice before. And I honestly, there was a different venue, I guess, and they built this new one. It's really nice, but they told me I'd played there twice before, and once they described the old one, I remembered it. But I don't remember being there twice, and it was 10 years ago. It's a good 10 years ago at least, and I went to a thrift store next to... It was pretty close to the venue. Walked over there, and they had some sort of, remember the organs in the 80s? There's like a home organ, and you had like all your rumba beats, your disco beat and all that, and you'd play along. It'd sound real cheesy. And most of us sound terrible and dumb on it, but Mark Mothersbaugh could like put that in a song, and it'd be beautiful and awesome. It was one of those, except for it didn't have any keys like a piano. It had buttons like the accordion, and which was pretty damn neat. And there was individual buttons for like a snare drum, for a bass drum, and went on quite a lot of other things. But then there's ones for notes and all that. I'd never seen anything like that. And it was obviously European, but I don't know from where. It was an Elka Commodore 10, and I posted a photo of it on my Instagram and my Facebook also. But I don't know, there's things on YouTube where you can look it up and listen to it if you want to. But that was neat seeing something different. But when I walked into that thrift store, there was a guy, just a middle-aged guy, who saw me and just freaking stared at me. There's like cultural differences that are sometimes hard to get used to when you travel. And some Dutch people, some parts of the country, will just stare. And even when you glance over at them, they don't break eye contact. They just, and man, he was staring me down like nothing. And I was like, what the hell did I do? I kind of walked in, and he got 6 or 7 feet from me. He just kind of like, 6 or 7 feet. And I'm like, hell with this. It's a pretty big store. I walked all the way to the back of it. And he followed me all the way back there, like 6 or 8 feet from me, staring the whole time. And at one point I look over, I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? And he's just like, I'm like, wow, okay. And I walked around. It was like the shelves in the middle of the store, the big dividers, I walked all the way around one twice pretty quickly, and he followed me all the way around it. I did a little habit trail thing through the store. Kind of made a game out of it. And I don't know, man. I must have looked fascinating yesterday or something, or whenever that was. But I said, man, I'm going back to the venue. And so I got a nice memory out of that. It was, nothing happened, but it was interesting and fun and strange. And I also, after the gig, we went to the hotel room, and it was outside of town, kind of rural. And I didn't know where we were. I wasn't even thinking about anything. And I pulled into this parking lot area, and it didn't even look like a hotel at all. Just a little gravel parking lot area. And we pulled in, and I said, I've been here before, haven't I? And Sonner and Luciano were like, yeah, you stayed here before. And it had to have been 10 years ago, like over 10 years ago. And I was just visualizing it. And as I was in the car, I'm in the parking lot. It's dark. Nothing really is very descriptive. But I could visualize exactly what the lobby looked like. And in my mind, I kind of like was walking in through a certain door. And I remember the stairs that take you up to where the rooms are. And I remember there were horses in the back. And a lot of glass windows with a nice view of some art garden or something. It was really weird. The brain is an interesting thing. I've just been through all of this with the gig, shaking hands and kissing babies, people and all that stuff, and trying to be nice and enjoying the experience and going through all of that, and my brain's on something else. And then somewhere back there, all of that came to the surface, and it was very out of the ordinary and interesting. I wish, just imagine if you could unlock that kind of brain power. And God, this sounds like a terrible segue to some kind of sponsor, doesn't it? Where I sell you some kind of grifter pills or something. So, well, imagine if you could unlock that kind of brain power. Well, with Otis's special grifter pills, you'll remember all kinds of old hotel rooms you've been in that you'd rather forget about. But tonight I'm playing in Groningen. I'm playing an old cathedral. I think it's a very old cathedral, and it's sold out. Everything's been sold out. I think like the third gig of the tour or something was the only one that didn't, and it was like 5 tickets shy of a sellout or something. But I've played in Groningen a few times, and it was a really good time, always really good. But I've never played this venue, and I'm looking forward to that. So it'd be a nice big crowd and appreciative people. They have in Groningen, they have a pancake boat. In one of the canals, there's a boat. There's like a pancake. So if you're in the United States, imagine if IHOP was a mom and pop place and it's on a boat. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That's what I remember. We ate there a long time ago, and I've been joking about it. I'm not sure that I really want to have pancakes today or whatever, but I don't know. Might have to just go by and see what it looks like out of memory. And there's a really great museum in Groningen. I remember walking to a couple times. But I don't know, man, life's good. I joke that I'm over here on the Towns Van Zandt tour. These are the tours that Towns did, that Guy Clark did, back when. A lot of people before me. Sometimes the same rooms, sometimes a different room, sometimes same promoter, sometimes same audience members, But it's great. I'm very fortunate to be able to do it. This is what I've done for quite a while. This is how I've fed my family for a long, long time, and I'm very appreciative I get to do it. And I worked my ass off to make it possible. So, that's always part of it, but people don't like it when you say that part out loud, so I try to be a little more humble about it. But, I saw, speaking of the tours Towns used to do and all of that, in Utrecht a few nights ago, had a real nice gig, and there's a really nice backstage area there, and they have these hard chairs, like kitchen table chairs. They're kind of a little more modern looking. In the back room, it's hard surfaces, and they've taken old show posters and decorated the chairs with them. It's really hard to explain. When you see it, you're, okay, how'd they do that? But when you try to explain it, it's hard. But they took old show posters, and there's a lot of big bands, like that have played there, like a lot of them, like the Cult. I saw they put one of those on a chair. The Eels, man, there were a bunch of bands that I don't even know who they are, but I've always heard their names, and I know that they're pretty big, that I saw up there, and I wish I could think of them all right now, but I can't. But in my dressing room, I sat down on this chair and was working on something, and sat there for almost an hour working on something, and I got up and used the restroom or something, came back in, sat down in a softer couch type thing on the other side of the room, and I just kind of looked up and I saw the chair that I was sitting on. They had an old David Olney poster for artwork on the chair that I was sitting on. It's David Olney. I'm like, man, I was friends with David, and just kind of sitting there, and kind of gave me the feels a little bit, got a little bit of chills. David died a few years ago, but he used to play all these gigs, much longer ago than me. And it was just beautiful that you travel around and you do this thing, and you're happy and lucky to do it. It's just really beautiful when people remember, that Olney came out here and bled, on these stages and did his thing. And it's nice to see a venue remembering and celebrating him. I thought that was beautiful. And it's just some way where the other people that are if you're in the backstage area, you're down the rabbit hole in music and you're playing it and you're on the road and all of that, and and you'd appreciate, hey, it's David Olney, man. I took a picture of it and texted my buddy Sergio Webb, who played with David on the road for a long, long time. And I texted a picture. I'm like, hey, man, look at this backstage in Utrecht. And he texted back, long live Olney. And I said, damn straight, long live Olney. And I need to send that to my buddy Tom Utes. Tom played with David for a stretch there. Need to appreciate that. Need to send that to him. I need to do a lot of things. But I got a couple more, let's see, tonight at the church there, the old cathedral in Groningen, and then tomorrow playing a theater in Rotterdam. It's sold out. I'm sorry if you guys tried to get tickets and couldn't. I've had a lot of people reach out saying that they were trying to get tickets and weren't able to. But I don't know. It's good to be here. I'll get to go home in a few days, and I'll be home for like 2 days, and then I will head over. I'll get in the car and drive to Texas and play at Seaboys, the SoCo Stomp. Whole bunch of people playing. I'll be one of the people doing that. It's going to be a big, fun time. A lot of people, big crowd. It's going to be fun. It might be a little crazy. If you're in Austin and you can't handle the crazy, I don't blame you. But if you're one of the crazies, come on out and say hi to me. And then the next day, I drive to Galveston and I play at the Old Quarter in Galveston, Texas. Speaking of Townes Van Zandt. Remember Live at the Old Quarter? Great album. If you don't know about it, go listen to it right now. If you stream stuff, go find it and stream it. And then right after that, why don't you look up Otis Gibbs and follow that guy on the streaming things. But, excuse me. I think I just burped. I apologize. I'm going to try to figure out how to make that damn coffee maker work. And then I'm going to hope and pray that this hotel Wi-Fi actually does its thing. And I should also say, the first thing I did when I got up this morning is I washed 2 pairs of socks in the sink because I don't know what happened. I think I lost 2 pairs of socks in a hotel room or something. So I have my last clean pair right now, and I need 2 more for the remainder of the tour. So I washed them in the sink, and then I hung them up in a tree. And I'm hoping that see the sun beating down on my face here. I'm hoping that sun dries them out before we head on to the next town. But, man, thank you guys for being here. I posted a 44-minute video yesterday to the Patreon people and the channel members of me changing strings. And man, I talked a lot about, I guess I didn't mean it to be advice about playing, solo acoustic and all that, but I talked a lot about that, and I think there's some good stuff in there. If you're into that, you might consider joining. It supports this channel. And there's a lot of free stuff on Patreon also, that if you just become a free member, you can do that. And then I'll try to convert you over. But if not, man, thank you for being here. And I will see you somewhere down the road. Much love to you.